Hello, Patriots, and welcome back to the Patriot Dad channel, where we're going to discuss current events, modern issues, and culture, all while keeping it as real as possible. Today, we're going to be doing a reaction to Ben Shapiro's interview with Tom MacDonald. Now, this has been recommended a few times on the channel, and I apologize it took me this long to get to it. But Michael Rivnak and Jerry Milstein, thank you for the recommendation. But before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that during the ramp up to the 2024 election, the Rogue Dermatologist and the Patriot Dad channel are collaborating to bring you another great deal. In remembrance of the attempt on Trump's life, if you follow the link to trumpmug24.com, it'll take you straight here. Scroll down, add it to your cart, go to checkout, enter the code PDMUG, and you'll save 20%. Take advantage of this offer while it's still available. Now, back to the video. So, let's get it pulled up and get right to it, shall we? We did see their collaboration song together, and it was amazing. So let's see how this interview went.
All right, joining us on the line is Tom MacDonald. You've seen his videos. You've heard his songs. He says what most Americans think without fear. He doesn't censor himself. He has a brand new music video called Dirty Money. It was just released on Friday. It already has like 3 million views on YouTube. Tom, thanks for joining the show. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about, how your music career originally happened, because it's very rare to spot anybody remotely near the music industry who does not simply follow the left-wing line on pretty much all the issues. But you very vocally do not. So how'd you get where you are?
Well, I think the key to everything has been I'm totally independent. I have no ties to the music industry whatsoever. I've sort of created my own little ecosystem outside of the music industry. I produce all of my music. I write all my songs. My girlfriend shoots all my videos. We distribute my music independently. There is no affiliation with any record label, manager, PR team, marketing, publicist, distro, nothing. So it's just us. And I've been doing it for about 10 years. And just like you said, man, I'm making music about the things that I think people are afraid to talk about.
The music that other people are afraid to talk about, and his independence gives him that freedom. The other thing that I noticed, his voice, his calm demeanor, he's just a calm, normal sounding dude, but you would not expect looking at him. I think it's actually really kind of neat that he's just a normal dude.
And just like you said, man, I'm making music about the things that I think people are afraid to talk about.
That's amazing. I mean, the response has been absolutely incredible. You can see it from the number of views on all of your music videos. So how do you go about writing a song? Both musically and then also in terms of the lyrics. Which do you do first? You do the music first, the lyrics first, and where are you getting sort of the material from?
It's always a different process. Since I make all of my own beats, like sometimes I come into the studio with no concept, with no direction, and just sort of create freely, and it just comes about naturally. But like a lot of people out there, I think we're just sort of bombarded with like information these days, whether it's the news or the newspaper or on the internet or on social media. It's just like this constant bombardment of headlines and stuff happening in the world. So I'm just taking all of this information in and digesting it as best as I can. And, sometimes regurgitating it back out into songs of my thoughts and feelings about what's going on in the world today. So yeah, I think it's pretty hard, to not feel some type of way about all the craziness sort of taking place these days.
So why don't you tell me about sort of the...
You are not kidding, guys. It is getting crazier and crazier.
Feel some type of way about all the craziness sort of taking place these days.
So why don't you tell me about sort of the origins of Dirty Money? It just came out on Friday. And as I say, it's racking up millions of views almost immediately. Where did that one come from?
I've always just been sort of interested in politics and sort of the inner workings of things. And, I'm not like a political scientist. I'm not super well versed in a lot of the stuff that's going on, but I think where I can connect with people is that I'm just like a regular person, and I'm getting all the same information that all the other regular people are. I'm just fortunate enough to have a platform and have the skill to make music. And it's just a great forum for me to sort of like speak the things that I'm thinking. So when I watch the news or I read the paper or I read articles online, I just have a great venue to sort of just speak my mind. So, and I do that from like a regular person's perspective, which is why I think I connect with people like so well.
I would 100% agree, because a lot of the lyrics, they just spit facts. They're just laying it out there in very common sense that just speak to us. I could not agree more.
So,
and dirty.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, dirty money is just a reflection of like a lot of the things going on right now. And I think, especially in America, speaking of money, like financially and economically, I think that we're in a real hard place right now. So I wrote this song 6 months ago. It just happened to be the right time for it now.
So let's talk about kind of how your music career got started, because we were talking right before we got on the line about, you know, the fact that you used to work construction. You know, so how did you get to where you are right now? Like, when did you first take up music? How did this happen?
Well, I was a professional wrestler for many years, like the WWE style stuff. And that sort of chapter of my life came to a close. Just like there's a lot of internal politics in wrestling and accumulated injuries. So I had to get out of that business. And I'd always been sort of writing poetry and writing rock songs. Didn't have the voice. It wasn't a Robert Plant, Joe Cocker vocalist. But I still needed an outlet, and I had been writing music. So rap and hip hop just was sort of the natural direction for somebody that didn't have a big rock star frontman voice. So got into rap and hip hop, made the exact same music as everybody else for many years, probably 6 or 7 years. Everything was about cars and clothes and money and girls and partying and all that stuff. And I was emulating a lot of like what I was seeing the biggest artists of the time doing. And not only emulating it in my music, but emulating it in my real life, which led me down a super destructive path.
Guys, when celebrities are telling us all of these things in their music, those lifestyles are not productive. Like he was just saying, they're super destructive. So when they're talking about fast money, fast cars, fast girls, that's a fast lane to the morgue. It's not a glamorous lifestyle. Look what's going on right now with P. Diddy. Is that really the group of people that you want to emulate? It shouldn't be. Good job keeping your independence. And it sounds like he learned some lessons early on that doing the same thing everyone else was doing didn't pay off.
Which sort of culminated with like a little bit of a bout with alcoholism, which sort of led to a little bit of a mental breakdown. And that took me like 9 months to close to a year to rehab myself from that. So now I'm completely sober, and I sort of
Congrats, by the way. Good job.
Coming out of that dark place, it gave me an opportunity to sort of examine what do I care about, and what do I want to make in my music, and who do I want to talk to with my music. And I just sort of made the decision, like I don't want to make music that's going to damage other people, like the music I was listening to damaged me. So now I'm here, sober as a judge, making what the world has deemed to be super controversial music, but it's just stuff that I truly care about.
So how'd you get into American politics in the first place? You're from Canada, right? You're from our northern neighbor?
Yeah.
So what got you into American politics?
Well, I think that the whole world is sort of into American politics from childhood, even like growing up in Canada, like my dad and my grandfather were always like really into politics. So I'd sit around and watch.
Well, then who wants to be into Canadian politics? Like Trudeau? Are you kidding me?
TV with them and listen to them talking. And it's really crazy. Like even back then when I was a kid, they were talking about China and sort of warning me about, hey man, China's going to be a big deal one day. You need to pay attention to this stuff. And here we are today. And it's just like a little bit of a deja vu. But so you kind of absorb a lot of that just coming up in Canada. American politics are sort of spotlighted globally, I think. And then moving to America like 8 or 9 years ago now, it was a little bit of a culture shock.
Welcome, by the way.
I think that there's a lot of people here that get so wrapped up in it all the time, and they're in it from birth.
And guys, this election season is so much worse than a normal one. You just can't get away from politics right now.
That I think that I had a little bit of a unique perspective, because I think sometimes it's that old saying, you can't see the forest through the trees. And I think that's where a lot of people are at within the country right now. They're just so surrounded by this stuff and have been for so long that it's hard for them to sort of like differentiate and focus on different things. So coming in from an outsider's perspective 8, 9 years ago, I kind of got to stand back and look at everything and say, holy cow, this is wild. What's taking place here? And it's only got crazier over the last 9 years. So
Well, I was very flattered that Facts Don't Care About Your Feelings does actually show up in one of your big songs, Fake Woke.
That's a saying that Ben Shapiro here made famous. Although what's interesting is Ben says facts don't care about your feelings, but then the left always says the opposite, which is your feelings don't care about the facts. It is an interesting inflection point between the left and the right, that you can say the same statement backwards and forwards, and they both believe their own version of it to their core.
I don't know.
Hey, man. I've been called the Ben Shapiro of rap many times.
Well, I mean, speaking of that, I've been called the Ben Shapiro of rap because obviously I had my amazing recording of WAP, the Cardi B hit, which I gotta say, my version slaps significantly harder than the Cardi B version.
Okay. If anyone wants to hear that, throw a comment and we will react to Ben Shapiro's version of WAP. Oh.
Yo, slap significantly harder. Awesome.
Well, I mean, there have been calls. I mean, I'm just going to put it out there. There have been calls for us to collaborate, and I know that it would probably be degrading your art for us to do that. But I will say that my rap, I feel it's an untapped field for me.
Yeah,
it's something that I've always wanted to. It's sort of like my feminine identity as a Black lesbian woman. It's sort of like an area that I feel is just absolutely. I've never touched it. I've never really gone like. I'm a classically trained violinist since the age of 5. And so, Mozart and Beethoven and Bach and Brahms are really more my style. But I feel like there's a part of me that I just haven't accessed. And so
I guess this is the impetus for the collaboration. Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, if the crowd wants it, then perhaps I'll be forced to solicit your help in joining the rap industry. Is it called? I don't even know what it's called. R&B.
Hey, Ben, if there is untapped potential here, if there's a fire burning somewhere deep inside your soul that's making you want to spit some super hot bars with me, I'm down. Let's make it happen.
Well, I really appreciate the invitation. I'm sure nothing would horrify you more, but perhaps we will make that happen sometime in the future to the consternation of both my audience and your own. Tom MacDonald, you should go check out his brand new music video, Dirty Money. It's out on YouTube right now. Tom, really appreciate the time and congratulations.
It was a pleasure, man. Thank you so much.
Oh, guys, that's hilarious. Now I can see why y'all recommended that we check out that interview, because that is what apparently led into them collaborating together. I already have the reaction for Facts live on my channel, so check that out as well. But I thought Ben did a really good job interviewing. I learned a couple of new things in there. The pro wrestling thing makes more sense. I'm assuming that's where a lot of Tom's tattoos came from. But what do all of you guys think? Do you think that was a good interview? Did you enjoy Ben Shapiro's style? I really haven't listened to him very much. But if you guys want to see the reaction to that Ben Shapiro version of WAP, you leave a comment, recommend it, and we'll get to it. I'm probably going to regret that. But thank you to those of you that made it to the end of the video. I greatly appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this video, please click that like button and leave a comment on the video. If you want to see more content like this on the channel, please make sure you subscribe and click the little bell icon so that you can be notified when I upload additional content. If you have a recommendation for a future song or topic you want to see on the channel, please also leave that in a comment below and I will get to it as soon as I can. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves and God bless. Go ahead and check out one of the links on the screen now to either subscribe to the channel and see the rest of the videos of the channel, or one of the carefully selected videos that you may wish to see that YouTube has used its algorithm to select for you.